stand on the premise that those are the two biggest areas, most important areas that we need to address as a people in order for us to bring about true political economic liberation. There's a lot of other aspects of the struggle. There's a lot of other aspects of our backwardness as a people. But if we want to start making some forward progress, we have to address economics and we have to address education. We have to address education because you have to prepare the next generation of African children in the responsibility of nation building. And you have to deal with economics because economics is the lifeblood of a people. If folks don't have food, clothing, and shelter, which can only come by way of economics, then how do you organize a people who are barely surviving? You see, another thing we need to recognize, one of the reasons why we don't have the type of loyalty that we want from our own community, our own brothers and sisters, is because economically we cannot provide them with opportunities. See, for the Chinese child, it's easy to be loyal to the Chinese community. For the Jewish child, it's easy to be loyal to the Jewish community. For the East Indian child, it's easy to be loyal to the East Indian community. Why is that? If I need a job, they're going to get me one. If I'm homeless, they're going to find me a place to live. If I'm naked, they're going to find me clothing. How often do you see a homeless European Jew? How often do you see a homeless Chinese? How often do you see a homeless East Indian? You don't, because they look out for the whole. Whereas African people, we're selfish and we're only concerned about ourselves and maybe our children, and it goes that far. Most of us do not have a collectivist identity or a collectivist consciousness.
So
all work that must be done for African people must be done through teamwork. Okay? It takes the group to move the body forward. There is no lone man at the top. There is no lone woman at the top. The reason we have a hard time understanding that it's going to take collaboration in order for us to get this done is because most of us have been brainwashed with the white Jesus concept, which basically says that one person can solve the problems for all of us. So we've been raised in the church, and in the church, Jesus comes and Jesus solves everyone's problem. And because of that, most of us are looking for that black knight in shining armor to swoop in and save the entire community. And one of the reasons we love believing in the Jesus concept of a lone savior is because it absolves me of responsibility. See, as long as I think someone is coming to save black folks, I don't have to be disciplined with my spending habits. I don't have to be more responsible with my children. I don't have to sacrifice my blood, sweat, and tears to help out other black people because a lone savior is coming. And this is why black people love to prop up one leader, because he now becomes the scapegoat, the excuse, and the justification for why everyone else has not changed their political and economic behavior.
Like the Barack Obama said.
Without question.
Okay.
In fact, the reason white America was able to use Barack Hussein Obama against black America was because of that very mental imbalance that we have of looking for that lone savior. If we rejected this notion that one black man is going to save 40 million black folks, Obama could have never been as successful as he was, dismissing black people and stripping from us everything that our ancestors fought for the past 150 years and giving it to the LGBT community, the multicultural community, the feminist community, and even the immigrant community. See, there's something that a lot of Obama supporters don't want to admit, but it's factual, and that is this. Up until Barack Obama, 43 presidents prior, black people were the priority minority in this country since 1619. Every president, you were the priority minority. It doesn't mean they did anything for you. It doesn't mean that they were a supporter, but they had to address you one way or the other because you were the priority minority. Every president, every governor, every mayor had to decide where they stand on the black American issue. After Barack Obama, you're no longer the priority minority. Yep. So from Donald Trump forward, black people never have to be considered at the political table because we allow one black man to take everything we fought for, give it to another population, and take our entire black agenda off the table. So Donald Trump don't have to address black folks. The next president don't have to address black folks, and it's our fault because we allow racism to use a black man to erase black people's issues off the political table.
So you feel that politically black people are worse off after Obama than before Obama?
Look at the statistics. Education, higher dropout. Incarceration, definitely up. Home ownership, down. Black share of the wealth of America, down. Our statistics under Barack Obama are worse than they were under George W. Bush and his father. And the reason for that is because we said, since the president is black, he don't have to do anything else but be black. That was one of the worst public proclamations we could have ever made. Even if you feel that way, you don't let white folks hear you say that. Even if you're comfortable with the president being black, you don't let the world know that this man don't have to do a damn thing for me except be black. But because you said that, they rolled back the Civil Rights Bill. Because you said that, they rolled back the Voting Rights Act. Because you said that, the set-asides for black folks, the percentages of the contracts, our membership in the unions of America, they rolled back everything on black folks during the Obama years, and they did it because they know he would do nothing about it, and they knew we would say nothing about it. If you want to control black folks, put a black person in office. And that's why statistically, when you look at our condition as a people, since the rise of the black politician, which began in the 1970s, each and every time we get a black politician, the condition of the community gets worse. You've had a few exceptions, a Maynard Jackson in Atlanta, a Adam Clayton Powell in New York. There are few exceptions, but they are few. And the reason we do worse when we get a black face in office is because that black face, 95% of the time, was financed and controlled by white power and white money. 95% of every black politician in office is a Democrat. They are beholden and obligated to the Democratic Party. That's where they get their money. That's where they get their campaign funding. That's where they get their campaign strategy from. White folks are using black Democrats like a ventriloquist. They're nothing but dummies on a string that get told what to do and how to get there. If we want to be effective politically, we divest from the political parties. We divest from the Republican, we divest from the Democrat, we divest from the Green Party, the Libertarians, and we all register as independents. We don't need to be a part of a white party, and we don't even need a black political party. What we need is a black political union. Organized blocks of black voters who are willing to cast their vote in the direction that benefits the black community.
Okay, so I guess to reframe my question.
Sure.
I'm just asking in regards to like the presidency, right?
Yes, sir.
In regards to the office itself.
Yes, sir.
Your argument sounds as if you're saying that now the presidency has less to black people have less to bargain at the table with.
Oh, absolutely.
With it.
Absolutely.
And I guess my question is, that argument to me sounds misleading in the way that George Bush, Clinton, you're looking at after the civil rights bill is being passed. What is really being done in order to support black people, especially when you bring in Reagan, especially when you bring in Nixon. So I guess for me, it seems like it's easy for us to highlight Barack Obama, right? I think it's easy to make it controversial, but when you look at the presidency itself, regardless of if black people are seen to be at the table or if bills are being passed to support our people, every president has immensely failed Barack Obama just due to the level of systematic.
Let's stay with your premise, which I agree with. So taking your premise, my question then becomes, if every president has been a dismal failure with regard to black people, which I totally agree with, the only difference with Obama is you don't even get brought up in the conversation post-Obama. Pre-Obama, you got brought up in the conversation. You don't even count no more. But staying with that premise, if you are correct, and I believe you are 100%, why did we single him out as a success story when his presidency brought nothing tangible and measurable to the black reality? Sticking with your premise, because it is correct. Why was he celebrated when his presidency was no more beneficial, measurably, practically, and materialistically than the 43 that preceded him?
Because isn't it embedded in the black identity that we are all aware that we are given very little, and we make the most out of what we're given? I think that.
So you're making the assumption that Obama was a gift to black folks?
No, I'm making the assumption that Barack Obama was black, and he was given what we all get, which is a little bit of nothing, and you make a little bit of something out of a little bit of nothing.
And what did we make? What was the little bit of something we made out of that little bit of nothing?
I think even if you bring up, let's say, police brutality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did we get any large overarching policy?
No. We ain't asking for large and overarching. Did you get any policy against police brutality under Barack Obama?
I think we got
Name
a level.
one. Name one act.
Hold on. Wait.
Okay.
I think we got a level of leadership. I think that one, if we're looking at policy, we're looking at the congressional, the Congress, Senate.
No, we're dealing with the executive branch. We ain't dealing with Congress. We're dealing with the president.
I'm saying policy, right? We're looking at legislation.
Yes, we're looking at the president. What did he introduce with regard to police brutality? Give me one bill.
He introduced Eric Holder. He introduced
No. Eric Holder was the Attorney General who resigned from office because he did not agree with Obama's lackluster approach to police genocide. Holder quit because Obama was too weak on it. That's why Holder left. He said, you're not going to use me to be the scapegoat for why you're not doing anything about these innocent, defenseless black folks being murdered. So I'm asking you to give me a bill.
And I'm asking you for that. And this is not need.
No. We're not arguing, brother. We are conversating.
Okay.
You understand me? Okay. You're my brother.
I got a question for you.
I want you to give me one bill. I don't care if they got.
But I told you. I'm not looking at overarching policy.
Okay, so you're admitting.
A bill is an overarching policy. Anything.
No, it's not overarching. Okay,
overarching through the system.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Did Barack Obama introduce any legislation to hold police accountable for the innocent murder of black folks? Yes or no?
No, he did not.
Thank you. But he did introduce a law to protect police.
And I'm trying to bring it down so we can. I want to continue this. I really do. Okay.
So let me just jump in real quick. I got a question.
Sure.
What do you think is the single most negative thing that's influencing our community? Like the single most thing that's stopping us from being great?
I would say the biggest thing, I'm going to give you two, that keep black people checkmated in the quicksand of progress is number one, unsubstantiated hope or belief in a promise changed that never comes. What was Obama's campaign slogan? Hope we can believe in. Change we can believe in. So Obama held you checkmated, handcuffed psychologically. For 8 years, delivered you nothing. You know why we don't move anywhere? Because every president, every governor, every mayor, every state rep, every U.S. rep who comes into office, black or white, tells us, if you be patient, I'm working for you, black folks.
And we believe that.
And then their 8 years is up. Someone else come in and say the same thing. So we've been waiting and hoping since 1968, the year they killed King. Here we are over 60 years later. Excuse me, this is the 50th anniversary, mind you. This is the 50th anniversary. This last month was the 50th anniversary of King's assassination. And because of that empty hope, we don't get anywhere because we keep on waiting for an external force to deliver change. That's number one. The other part is the self-hatred. The only thing that hate black people more than white people are other black people.
Man.
And until you change that intense psychopathological hatred of each other, you will change nothing else.
Can you explain to me why knowing the root of a problem is as important as knowing the solution?
The reason you must know the root is because if your conceptualization of the problem is incorrect, all your solutions are worthless. Do you understand? And the problem with black folks is we walk into the room and we'll know the problem, but we don't know the root and how it operates. So let's take miseducation, right?
Okay.
You know the schools don't work. He know the schools don't work. He know the schools don't work. She know the schools don't work. I know the schools don't work. We know the problem. But do you know how it operates? In other words, why don't the schools work? What are the specific variables going on in Cleveland public schools that keeps black children underachieving? You got to be able to say it's the racism, it's the special ed, it's the ADHD, it's the fact that public school was never designed to make black children work, the lack of black male teachers. You see, so only if you understand how a problem operates can you solve it. Black people name problems and they say, let's solve it now.